What's going on social media? Chilling. Just got done working out, leaving the gym. I didn't really do a whole lot today. You know what I mean? Because it's Friday. And quite honestly, I need my energy for other shit. But what I want to talk about, right? I had a conversation with my cousins the other day. Well, yesterday, really. And, I'm coming to understand my placement in this world the older I get and the more I talk to other people. Not only that, but I come on this app and I just talk a bunch of shit sometimes, and I say the things that are on my mind, and I speak and voice the things that I think on things related to a man, right? What I don't be knowing is how this shit resonates with other people. Like, I really just be on this app talking because it helps me deal with shit that I be dealing with for the most part, and things resonate and sit with me funny, and a lot of times I be feeling ways about stuff, and I just, I talk to this camera because that's how I deal with it, right? But sometimes I be forgetting that I be thinking I'd be on an island by myself with the things that I think, you know what I mean? And the call I had with my cousins the other day kind of let me know, well, not even necessarily with just them, right? What's been happening to me a lot is that men reach out to me for whatever reason, right? I don't be trying to initiate this shit. I be here just talking and minding my business. But, the niggas that I'm cool with, the motherfuckers I grew up with or whatever, a lot of men that are close to me for the most part, that I consider family and cousins, they be going through shit, right? And I be making these videos and just uploading them to YouTube, but I don't be thinking about how this shit lands with other people or who's watching it, or you know what I mean? Because I don't get a lot of views, but I don't be thinking about how this may resonate with someone else, or if it helps them or gets them out of a dark place or not. You know what I mean? I just be saying shit. But look, for the most part, right? I do have the existence of the average man. It's just I think I'm able to depict it in a fashion to where other men resonate with it. Because I don't be thinking about, I just be talking, right? And then I'll get a message from random or whatever, or one of my family members will hit me up bro, that shit really, I'm glad you said that. That made me feel better, right? Which tells me that, the game is really fucking niggas up out here, and shit that's going on, the shit niggas be going through. Look, it's like this, right? I'm starting to understand that, okay, I go work out. I used to want to be strong for myself, because I just like lifting weights or whatever, right? And the older I'm getting, the more I talk to my cousins and the more I talk to my family, the more I'm starting to understand that I need to be strong for other people. It can't just be about me anymore. I'm just going to understand that, I used to think the things that I was going through was personal, and, the shit was really affecting just me. I drive a truck. Sometimes I feel like when I'm driving this truck that I forget that there's other people at this company that go through the same shit that I go through with the same job. Does that make sense? So the same can be said as, for a man existing as a man when you talk to other men. Like the conversation me and my cousins had the other day, just the shit we was all dealing with, going through, and just, sharing knowledge that I've learned that, I wouldn't call myself a male advocate, but, I think a lot of people look to me for strength in the sense of I've been through certain things. I can talk you through it. I can walk you through it. I can walk you through most situations with most people blindly because I've experienced it and lived it and done it. And this ain't me patting myself on the back. This is kind of just one of those things in my head. I'm coming to understand that, I remember what it was like when I was going through my funk with certain situations, and the thing, and shit was really fucked up and nasty for me, and I felt depressed and hurt, and there was even points where I wanted to really kill myself over just things I was dealing with, man. But sometimes a nigga just need a friend. Not me specifically, but I'm saying sometimes the motherfuckers you talk to and you care about, they just need you to reach out to them and let you know that it's alright, and it's cool to not feel ashamed from the shit that they might be going through. Because the thing I've learned about men, well, I wouldn't say learn, but the thing I know about men, right, for the most part, when niggas is dealing with shit, okay, when girls are upset and they fucked up or whatever, and, they're going through their situations, women are sociable. So they reach out and they call their homegirl or go get a drink with their friend. They're sociable. They're not going to just they're more emotionally adept to deal with things for the most part. Like, I think women are better than men in that regard, right? Because y'all are more emotionally equipped to deal with the emotion that comes with situations versus like a dude. When emotion hits you as a man, it feels like you are literally dying. Like, when something gets under your skin, when something makes you upset, when something bothers you, when something sits with you funny, as a dude, for the most part, if you've not been conditioned or you don't have the type of strength that it takes to get through it, it can literally pull you under. I think like the suicide rate amongst men is much higher. And I think the reason for that is because for the most part, we're conditioned to not reach out to anybody when shit gets difficult. Like for the most part, most men are not encouraged to have a brotherhood. Like I consider myself a lone wolf, right? And I think one of the biggest mistakes I've learned up until this point is that you can't do everything alone. Like, okay, for all the advice I give and, you know, the things that I know and the strength that I possess, no man is an island. All right. Even like, okay, at this point in my life, right? Personally, me, I'm learning to take in things from others, meaning like, you know, I could be a bit of a pessimist, like, because I've been shot at, done been through all these hood situations or whatever, done been backstabbed and all this bullshit. Not saying nobody else hasn't, but it's created this thing to where it's like I'm iffy about friends. I'm not crazy about being around people. I'm antisocial as a motherfucker. And the thing, you know, with dealing with someone like my girlfriend is that she pulls me out of that. And I'm learning to like, to lean more into that side of like life a little bit. You know, that it's okay to at least try and, you know, make friends and be positive and be a solid influence. Or just, you know, just be open to new shit. Like, you know, that's one of the things I think she does for me is that she keeps me in the game. Because when you live and you do shit as a dude, when you get to a certain point when you don't feel like you done all of it, it's like, okay, what's left? And if you don't feel like there's no reason to get, I guess a better way to put it is you don't give a fuck, it's nothing to really give a fuck about. But if someone else gives a fuck and you give a fuck about that person, you give a fuck about the things they want. So you know, you get involved just based on that. That's just my personal take on that. And the call I had with my cousins the other day just let me know that I need them niggas just as much as they need me. For different reasons. Like, look, what I'm saying is every dude, for the most part, even any man within the sound of my voice, each one of us brings something different to the table. And the thing with us is, especially black men, we're not encouraged to work together. We're encouraged to be, the thing with black dudes, with black men, right? A lot of us have this mentality of like being top dog instead of being like, okay, let me reach out to my cousin or my brother, you know, that may know something more about something than I do. You know what I mean? Instead of being on this lone wolf shit where it's like, you know, I don't want to work nothing out with nobody. I don't want to be friends with nobody, you know, because, I mean, when you come from the hood as a black dude, you know, it's a bunch of fucked up shit that happens to you. Not saying nothing happens to no one else. But I'm saying, like, growing up in the hood, it makes you very antisocial and funny toward each other, for the most part, right? You have this thing where everybody's a potential enemy. You know what I mean? And personally, at this point in my life, I'm trying to learn to work past some of those. I'm trying to unlearn some of that. Like, I keep some of it for the sake of, like, watching my back and knowing my environment. But, you know, for the sake of, like, moving forward and progressing and becoming a better self, there's this saying, like, you know, if there's 4 millionaires, you're going to become the 5th one, you know? And I think that's very true. Like, I've learned to not be, I'm learning to not be such an island, to not isolate myself, to, you know, I'm trying to learn to reach out to my mother and call her more. Like, there's things that my mother knows that I don't know. I'm trying to find a time sometime during the day to call my dad. You know what I mean? Because I'm one person. Like, and my knowledge of things are limited. Like, I know shit, but I don't know everything. And, you know, what's the saying? You only get as far as the people you talk to for a reason. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was on the phone call with my cousins, and one of my cousins was really, you know, he had things going on. And it's like, you know, that's been happening to me a lot lately. Like, somebody from my family that I'm close to or grew up with or was tight with will reach out to me behind some, you know, on some, they've been going through a lot of shit type shit, right? And I'm someone that's done been through the shit with women, with life, with situations. You know what I mean? I've been through it. So I've developed the strength to help a motherfucker get through the hard times. That makes sense. Like, I remember there was issues I had going on with my baby mama, and the situation was so fucked up, and I didn't have nobody to reach out to. And when I look back at it, it wasn't even that no one was probably there to reach out to. It's just I didn't feel comfortable talking to someone about whatever it was that I was dealing with because I didn't know how to handle it. So I try to be that same thing, that same strength for other men for the most part that are going through difficulty, to let them know that this shit ain't as bad. You don't have to, kill nobody or shoot nobody behind it. You don't have to sit into a funk. You don't have to hang your head, man. You better than that. You know what I mean? But one thing I'm learning is that there's strength in numbers. Like, we can all get something from each other. So I'm learning to be a more, I guess, associate kind of person. Like, I'm not crazy about friends, but if there's something that a motherfucker can teach me that can better myself, at this point, I'm completely open to it. Like, I talk to my mom a lot, and she goes through stuff with my granddad, because my granddaddy's older. He done had surgery on his foot, and you know what I mean? One of the things I think I try to pitch off to other people is the exercise thing, right? Because my mom's joints are not the greatest. She's older. She works in the kitchen. My cousin, I'm trying to encourage people to just get into the gym for the sake of their own health. Like, my mom's encouraging me to go to the doctor. That's been one of the things she's been on me about. She's like, you're in your mid-30s. Your blood sugar's real bad and outside the family. Go meet with somebody and figure out your shit. Don't let it just happen to you. She tells me all types of stories about, people going blind from blood sugar, things getting out of hand, all this other jazz. You know what I mean? Same thing with my cousin. He's encouraging me to go to the VA. Like, it's just stuff you get from other people. Like, I have a conversation with my sister and all this other stuff, and she tells me stuff, and it's like, what I'm learning lately is that there's strength in numbers, and everybody has something to offer, right? So whether you're going through something or something is difficult for you or it's not easy for you, you do not have to sit in a funk and deal with it by yourself. You know what I mean? There's other people you can reach out to, and I'm at the point now where I'm finna start reaching out to niggas. Like, if I know you going through something, I'm gonna message you, and I'm gonna check on you, because I remember what it was like when I was going through my funk, and when I hit a low, I hit a low. I used to look at the back of the Navy ship and just contemplate jumping off, and I didn't have a fear of it. And I know how, okay, because when the emotion gets fucked up for a dude, when dudes get depressed and they get sad or whatever, they're more than likely to take a really fucked up action based off the emotion that they're feeling, because a man doesn't know how to regulate all that. Like, I think that's where women beat us bar none. Like, even if the emotion is fucked up or they're sad or a dude cheated on them or whatever the case may be, y'all are a lot better equipped to handle that than a man is. Like, when a dude get cheated on or get hurt or get played and it's emotion, and you just sit in the dirt by yourself, or you playing the game and you ain't reaching out to nobody, you just sitting in whatever emotion that you sitting in. Like, okay, me personally, I don't like to feel too much emotion. I'm open to, I'm not saying I shut off emotion altogether, but like, to the extent that where a woman feel it, I can't handle that personally. So I try not to even put myself in a situation to where my emotion takes over in that type of fashion. Like, a woman can regulate all that a lot better. Like, a woman can be very upset, very sad, depressed. I think all that shit feels natural, even if it's overstimulated. I'm saying it's very intense, but y'all can handle that a lot better. A dude feeling emotional, a dude feeling too emotional will literally blow his brains out if he don't reach out to the right people and get the right type of support around him, right? But, it was just something on my mind, that when I was talking to my cousin, it kicked something off in here to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm learning to try to change some of my ways, and I want to be more friendly and be a more, sociable person, and be open to speaking to people and making business partners, making better decisions, taking any advice other men may give me, you know what I mean? Just to become a better man for myself in the future, because I've come to understand that my existence and my presence means a lot to a lot of people, and I didn't know how much it did. And every day, closer that I get to my birthday, that I learned that more and more, that my presence means more to a lot of people than I think it does. Not only that, but these videos that I be making on Snapchat where I just be talking, there's no telling who's watching and who this helps. You know what I mean? I've had friends from high school be like, oh, me and my wife got a divorce, she took the kids, I don't know what I'm gonna do, like, and I have to talk niggas through shit. Like, bro, don't fuck up, don't do this, don't do that, it ain't that serious, your child gonna always love you. I mean, Because I've lived all these things and I know how they affect the man's psyche. So it's like, when I know niggas is fucked up, I reach out. You know what I mean? Even if we're not the best of friends. Look, my homeboy call me every day about shit. And sometimes I'm not always in the mood to talk. But ain't no telling what a nigga going through. So it's just like, I just sit on the phone and be a good friend and not just listen. But Strength is talking through a goddamn toothache. This shit has been kicking my ass this morning. But, you know, I'm here for whoever needs advice on whatever. And I mean that. Like, I mean that. I'm here to help whoever needs advice to talk about whatever you want to talk about and work out whatever angle that you can to, stay afloat. Because this life shit is hard on everybody. So, I'm going to take me a nap. It's Friday. Thank fucking God. I think I might get me a twisted tea today. Watch a little TV and that be that, man. But y'all do what y'all do. I do what I do. I'm going to sleep.